You answered the letter. Now, like me, you are a part of this place.
Gee, thanks, man. Hello, everyone. Science Viking here, and it's time to continue our playthrough of Darkest Dungeon. Okay, so who have we got? Alright. I'm leaving the Plague Doctor here to receive that one resolve level. We only have 1,200 gold, so we can't really afford to upgrade anything, and so I suppose let's jump straight into our next quest. Yeah, I checked last time, I don't really have enough heirlooms just yet. So, let's embark. I am trading the Resolve level 1 Vestal for a Resolve level 2 Vestal. I want a Resolve level 3 Vestal. Let's bring the Grave Robber. And yep, we have another Bounty Hunter, and looks like you have a pretty good set of abilities. So let's bring the Bounty Hunter to be our 1 Resolve level 0 hero. Let's see what we can get. The Sodden Crew is a boss. Okay, the Martyr's Seal is incredible. The extra damage at Death's Door and the extra critical rate at Death's Door are very nice, but the 12% boost to death blow resistance that can be equipped by any hero, and the plus 15% max HP is just gravy. I definitely want that. Though that makes me rethink my decision to include somebody with Resolve level 0. Let's replace that with a Bounty Hunter at Resolve level 2. Composition Equilibre. Let's check everyone's abilities quick a moment. Alright. Gonna drop Hand of Light for Divine Comfort on the Vestal. Let's see, for you, you could do Lunge, Pick to the Face, Flashing Daggers, Shadow Fade, Thrown Dagger, and Poison Darts. I'm gonna stick with the setup you've currently got. For you, let me see, Target Whistle is good, Lick Wounds is good, Blackjack is not bad, and Hound's Rush. I actually like that ability set for the most part. And for the Man-at-Arms, got Crush, Defender, Retribution, and Command. That works. Alright. Well, this is taking quite a risk, but let's see what we get when we do this. Alright. One medicinal herbs. I'm gonna sell back some of the food for a few more medicinal herbs. I don't recall encountering very much blight in the cove, so I'll stick to just the means of curing bleeding. And the one shovel will probably have to suffice. Yeah, this is what happened. This is the peril of poverty, ladies and gentlemen. Well, let's embark.
Prying eyes had become a nuisance along the old road, and so I undertook to receive my most curious deliveries by way of marine shipments. A sheltered jetty was accessible by a narrow stone stair off the back of the manor, and a discreet system of pulleys could hoist even the heaviest prizes up the rock face from a securely tied dinghy below.
It's rather elaborate. I mean, I suppose it makes sense.
Devils, chained and drowning for eternity.
That is horrible. Also, it's pretty safe to assume that the boss is here, so we've got a bit of a hike. Should be able to make it, though. Treasure chest with barnacles, and it's empty. I forgot to buy torches.
Mind that such missteps are the exception, and not the rule.
Perfectly timed for it to be him chastising me for forgetting torches. Well, let's see how far we make it. We're probably going to end up having to retreat because I may be dumb, but I'm not suicidal, and I'm not going to power through this with no torches.
A fortune, waiting to be spent.
Alright, let's keep going. Not interacting with that. Alright, we found a decent amount of gold. But yeah, we're probably going to have to abandon this quest. Right. No scouting. Oh, we have a trap, but at least we evaded it.
Terrors may indeed stalk
These should be
shadows, but
manageable.
yonder, a glint of gold.
Okay, poison darts on the sea maggot, because its high prot won't protect it against that. Okay, seaward slash. And spearfishing, of course. Okay, divine comfort. Okay, I'm actually going to use retribution on the maggot, because it does, well, it did 0 damage. If it had done at least 1 damage, it would guarantee that the maggot would die next turn. Let's use rush on the movement back. Okay, next turn the maggot is out.
Their formation
not.
is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Poison darts on the guy in the back. Okay, between bleeding and blight, he's done. Crush on the one in the front. Okay, looks like we're going to manage this in spite of the darkness.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
And that is the end of that. Found more
Trifling
shovels.
victory, but a victory nonetheless.
An unburnt torch, and for some reason there was money just hidden in there. But yeah, because I was stupid and forgot to buy torches, it's unlikely that we'll be able to actually take on the boss. But I may as well at least loot the place for what I can get. Okay, take out the shaman. Blight the shaman. And Hound's Rush on the shaman. Okay, the shaman shouldn't be a problem anymore. I'm just gonna use Crush on the cultist acolyte. Okay. Let's go with Divine Comfort for now. And the shaman is out. Alright, got the usual rend to the old gods. And he's bleeding. And stressful incantation. Barnacle barrier on the cultist brawler. That's new and terrifying. Poison darts on the guardian. And Eldritch Pull missed, that's good. Hound's Rush on the cultist acolyte. Crush on the cultist acolyte. Okay, the acolyte is down. That just leaves the frontline fighters. Now, the frontline fighters are a large problem, but... Right. Thrown dagger deals extra damage to blighted enemies, so let's hit the Guardian. Okay, Divine Grace. And this is the moment where I remember that I can use the Vestal's ability to increase the torch level. I had kind of not thought of that. Alright, Hound's Rush. Poison darts. Okay, he's effectively out of the fight. Now let's rush on that cultist brawler. Alright, and dazzling light on the cultist brawler. I had forgotten that I could do that. bandages. And crush on the cultist brawler.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
And pick to the face.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Oh, and we got bandages to replace the bandages we used.
If
Rests
only
and money.
treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
You know, when you think about it, it kinda can. Moon battle with treasure. If only there were a hallway battle, since those are less dangerous. So they can build up the torch level.
The darkness holds dominion. Black as death.
Okay, eat 4 food, regain 5% health. You still have 4 food left. I've been surprisingly lucky despite my own incompetence. Alright. We surprised them. Poison darts on the Pelagie Shaman.
Well
Ooh,
struck.
critical. Ooh, did that sting? Crush on the Cultist Acolyte. Dazzling Light on the Cultist Acolyte. Okay, we got a stun and we got some Hound's Rush on the Shaman, because he isn't stunned, but
Press
this will finish him.
disadvantage. Give them no quarter.
To the old gods, and he's bleeding, so I have to heal him next turn. If he survives that long.
Mortality clarified in a single strike.
Alright. Let's do flashing daggers. I think that will be enough for the Acolyte. Yep, the Acolyte's down. Pounce Rush. Actually, I'm going to use Blackjack, see if we can stun the Guardian. Actually, the Brawler is more dangerous. See if we can stun the Brawler. Divine Grace. 14! Critical healing. And a good dodge right when we needed one. Okay. And crush on the Brawler. Oh! Outmaneuver. Alright. Poison darts. Blackjack again. And it got the stun. Crush. Divine Grace. Let's see if we can get the Man-at-Arms into slightly better shape. Poison darts again, because this will end the fight. On his next turn, he dies. May as well use Defender. Why not? Lick wounds. And Dazzling Light to get us a little bit more torch value.
Slowly, gently.
Whoa.
This is how a life is taken.
Got a lot of loot from that.
Glittering gold, trinkets and baubles.
Skipping this room
pouring
and going
blood.
straight to here.
Secrets and
Okay,
wonders
Drowned
can be
Thrall.
found in the
Perfect
most
target
tenebrous
for,
corners
what's it
of this
called?
place.
Or Dazzling Light. Poison darts on the Shaman. Now it's Rush on the Shaman. Okay, the Shaman is gone. I'm gonna take a risk and use Crush on the Thrall. They generally don't self-destruct on their first turn. Dazzling Light on the Thrall.
A devastating blow.
Oh, it resisted the stun. Yeah, Dazzling Light as a complete torch replacement is not really a very good option. Alright. Flashing daggers can't hit the Thrall, so pick the face. Hound's Rush. In hindsight, maybe I should have used Blackjack. Definitely should have used Blackjack. Never mind. And Crush.
Remind
Ooh.
yourself that
Witch's
overconfidence
vial.
is a slow
That's
and
nice.
insidious killer.
Okay, what do we get with what do we get here? Everything except torches, basically. Okay. Book of Intuition. Minus 20% chance of the party being surprised. I'm gonna give up the dog treats for that. However, I'll accept missing out on the wait, I can equip it directly? Well, then I'll take the antivenom too. Alright, now. Nice job. Yep. It's not really surprising that the grave robber is our good anti-trap person. Okay. Before I push my luck any farther, we're resting. Lighting up some firewood.
Gathered close in tenuous firelight.
Alright, let's
and
feast.
Uneasy companionship.
Reduce everyone's stress. Okay. So we want to heal the man-at-arms and reduce the stress of the Houndmaster. Okay, therapy dog would be a good start. Alright. And man's best friend would be a good follow-up to that. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have you use wound care on the man-at-arms.
Soothed. Sedated.
And now I'm going to have the man-at-arms use... Let's see, maintain equipment increases his own prot and damage, whereas weapons practice increases everyone's damage and has a chance of increasing everyone's critical. I'm just going to increase his own prot and damage. He's going to be taking a lot of attacks. And now let's rest and hope we don't get ambushed. Well, I just had to open my mouth, didn't I? Well, fortunately, it's not too dangerous of a group, though now that I've said that, we're about to be murdered. Alright, poison darts, hit the shaman. Okay, Hound's Rush, hit the shaman. I said hit the shaman. Alright. Really gonna need to get the Vestal back into position, so just move back one. Crush on the shaman. Whoa. I guess the poison darts weren't necessary then. I was expecting that critical. Well, let's hit one of these two.
Impressive.
One's... Right. Wow.
Injury. Palpable fear.
And of course that one does it too. Well, let's just finish this one. Alright, that one's gone. And Crush on the other one. And Divine Grace. No, Divine Comfort. Yes, Divine Grace on the Man-at-Arms. I've been getting a lot of critical healing. Let's see how Pick to the Face does. It does plenty. And we get more loot.
This expedition at least promises success.
Okay, let's go ahead and return everyone to their starting positions. I'm not really sure. I mean, we have no torches and there's a boss in here, so I'm less than confident. Apparently the fish people have recognized the tactical value of including a crazy person in their squads. Hound's Rush on the crazy person.
Precision and power.
Alright. Dazzling Light on the shaman. I was going to use it on the crazy person, but it doesn't have long enough reach to do that. Let's actually use Retribution on the Brewers. Okay, we still have Riposte. Okay, he'll be out on his next turn. Seaward Slash. And now we're about to get some stress. guy who doesn't know how to enunciate.
A decisive pummeling. Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
That's two of them. Just leaves the groupers. That just leaves a grouper. Pardon my lack of clarity. Alright. Unfortunately, we did take quite a bit of damage in the process of doing this. And Divine Comfort can only do so much.
Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
I dropped the antivenom. We still haven't encountered anything that can inflict blight. They are sleeping. I am kept from slumber by a distinct stream of whispers, as if carried by the currents and waves of the sea. I have not told them that most of my flesh has sloughed off, revealing a strange silvery memory. I keep myself covered. They questioned me when I ate the meat raw at campfall. I found my response difficult to understand. I suppose it would be best to explain my condition when they awaken. Then they would be convinced of my urgency to leave and find aid in the hamlet. Yeah, I'm not entirely convinced the sanitarium will be able to handle that. Whoa. Let's see how far we can make it. Because I think we've probably pretty much reached our limit. We've honestly made it a lot farther than I expected to. Okay, that grouper is... never mind. Alright, to my comfort. Critical healing on the one who didn't need it. Well, at least it reduced her stress that was already at 0. Yeah, the man-at-arms, as usual, is dancing very close to the line. He's hoping to target someone else. I know I literally just asked for that, but I regret it anyway. Flashing daggers, let's finish these two off. Hound's rush on the one in the back, so you can reach the one in the back. Crap. Well, he's not at death's door. You know, for how ill-prepared we were for this mission, I'm honestly kind of impressed that no one has ended up at death's door yet. Honestly, if we find torches, I'm actually continuing the mission and taking on the boss. Okay, that one's out. That just leaves the one in the front. I have so many ranged attacks that the enemies farthest forward are consistently the last to die. Lick wounds. Just get yourself
Compassion is a
healed.
rarity in the fever pitch
And-
of battle.
Crush. And kick to the face. And that'll do it. Okay.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
And I'm gonna drop the journal page. I would have liked to keep it, but food is a higher priority. And that chest was a trap. Okay, we've got a pack. What's it contain?
Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
Alright, I'm just gonna read this one. Sebastian's watch was his last. We were jolted during our evening's repast, the best we could make in this murky halls of our once great house, from the roar and flash of black powder. We dropped our bowls and hurried to it. All we could find was a spent pistol and a trail of blood leading into a maze of shadows. We press on. It's almost like these expeditions are dangerous. Alright, stress wave missed. That's a good start. Let's see. Let's use poison darts on the on one of the guardians. Hound's Rush on the shaman. This is gonna be tough. Let's start with Divine Comfort, get everyone topped up a little bit. Barnacle Barrier. Okay, we're gonna have to kill that guardian then. Okay, he resisted the bleeding, that's good. Crush on the one who's obstructing us. Yeah, the level of prot these guys have is really difficult to manage. Choose poison darts again.
A singular strike.
Okay, so now he's taking 6 damage. Let's use Hound's Rush on the other one to begin wearing him down. In theory, anyway. Best I'll use Dazzling Light on this one. See if we can get him. Alright, he's temporarily down. Okay. He needs to take 1 damage from any source. Okay, I'm gonna risk Retribution. It did exactly 1 damage. Alright. Let's use Poison Darts on the Shaman now that he isn't guarded anymore. 1 more hit from Poison Darts and he'll be out. Let's use Hound's Rush on this guy again. See if we can actually get him bleeding, and he is! Let's use Dazzling Light on this Guardian again. And he's out. And the grouper is now all exposed in the front. Well, crush him. And Poison Darts. If this hits and blights, then he's out. Okay, the Shaman is no longer a threat. Well, marking the Man-at-Arms seems to have done nothing. Nobody targeted him since I did that. Alright, Hound's Rush. Let's get more damage over time. We can attempt to get more damage over time. Crush on the group. So he's just not an element of this fight anymore, and that just leaves us with the Guardian. And what do we need? We need Poison Darts. I love stacking damage over time. And Dazzling Light. Let's get a little more torch level and stun him. Successfully. Let's finish him with a Crush. Well, that was my aim failing. I meant to finish him with Crush instead of hitting the corpse. And pick the place. That'll do.
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
Okay, I'm gonna drop the shovels. Okay, no scouting. Let's at least move to the penultimate room. And fall into a trap.
Carelessness will find no clemency in this place.
I'm actually not sure about that, man. I mean, I accidentally forgot to bring torches, and I feel like I've gotten a lot of clemency from that. There's really nothing else I could call that but carelessness. Alright. Okay, Dazzling Light on... Let's hit the maggot with it. Does 0 damage, and failed to stun, but it did increase the torch level. Crush on the one in front of me. Okay, 1 more Crush and that grouper is out, unless Hound's Rush finishes him first. Which it does! Perfect! And he resisted the bleeding, not that it makes any difference.
Weakened.
Well, Poison Darts on the one in the back. Let's begin tearing him apart. Hound's Rush to add even more damage over time. Well, every time I say we're going to add damage over time, we don't because it fails. And may as well crush the corpse, actually. These two are dead no matter what, but the more turns the other heroes can get, the more I can heal people and stuff. Alright, and that just leaves you. And you're dead.
Success so clearly in view.
Let's drop the medicinal herbs.
Or is
for
it
more gold.
merely a trick of the light?
Now let's see what we get from this pack.
A handsome
More
reward for a task well performed.
Okay. There's absolutely no possibility that this isn't the boss room. So we're at torch level 40, which increases monsters' accuracy, damage, and critical hit rate, and causes us to take additional stress. To balance that out, we get more loot, we get more critical hits, and enemies are unlikely to, and we're more likely to surprise enemies. I am not willing to take on a boss I have never fought before with torch level 40 and no way to increase it. I've pushed my luck beyond all reason making it this far. So, yeah, I'm wussing out. We're abandoning this quest. I'll accept the stress, and I assume they won't be resolved.
You cannot learn a thing you think you know.
But we did make 13,000 gold and get a whole bunch of heirlooms. So honestly, yes, we didn't kill the boss, and that means missing out on resolve experience and a few other, and what the rewards of the quest would have been. But we got 13,000 gold, 16 crests, 4 busts, and 3 portraits. I would call that a success. Okay, so we have a man-at-arms who is prone to investigating dark arts, a grave robber who has extra critical hits with ranged attacks, and a vestal who will never drink. Well, it's not too bad of a problem. I guess we're gonna have to kill the Sodden Crew another time.
Not with the cost of this crusade. Its noble end affords you broad tolerance in your choice of means.
Alright, Clarinel does not need to be de-stressed. I would say Cardinal and Marley do. And so does Sodden. So let's pop by the Abbey. Let's de-stress those two. Now let's pop over to the tavern. And you drink your cares away. Okay, now the things I really want to upgrade are the guild and the blacksmith. Okay, getting another level of instructor mastery would require 24 portraits and 60 crests. We're not there yet. How about upgrading weaponsmithing or armor smithing? 32 deeds and 35 crests. Let's see. Trading busts, I can get 3 crests. I need 6 crests to have 35 crests. So 6 crests would require me to give up 4 busts, which is all of my busts. So I seriously doubt it, but I'm going to check anyway. If I gave up all of my portraits, I would gain 9 deeds, which is not enough to upgrade weaponsmithing or armor smithing. So instead, I'm going to mostly hold on to my heirlooms, but I am going to upgrade the furnace, since that just requires a few deeds. I need to have 14. I think this will do it, but I can't remember. So nope, I need 1 more deed. Well, I'm actually going to trade a crest for a deed. Or 3 crests for a deed, rather. Alright, and now we can upgrade the furnace, making our equipment less expensive to upgrade. Alright, he's maxed out. Next question is who to upgrade. Well, if Clarinel isn't maxed out, she is. Alright? Let's see. Vavasur could stand to be upgraded. I'd say in both areas. And I'll upgrade the new Plague Doctor. And he's going to take the new Plague Doctor to the guild and see if we can get him to learn some more abilities. Right, let's see what abilities he's got. So he has Plague Grenade, Incision, Emboldening Vapors, and Disorienting Blast. Let's get him Battlefield Medicine and Noxious Blast. Alright. And now I'm actually going to take my Vavis, or my Occultist, that's his name. That's his class name. And let's... So if I were to upgrade Weird Reconstruction, that would increase the probability of inflicting bleed. It would increase the amount of healing it can do, but the base healing would still be 0. I kind of don't want to upgrade that because I'm worried about... I'm not sure upgrading it makes it better. Because yes, it can restore more hit points, but there's no guarantee that it will, and it increases the probability of inflicting bleed. I'm going to hold off on that. However, let's see. Vulnerability Hex allows us to okay, so upgrading would increase its accuracy, increase its probability of inflicting critical hits, and increase the amount that it reduces the enemy's dodge and the probability of doing so. Upgrading Weakening Curse, however, would increase both the amount that it weakens an enemy's damage and prot, and the probability of doing so, by a large amount. So I want to upgrade that, and do I want to upgrade Sacrificial Stab? Sacrificial Stab or Vulnerability Hex? I'm upgrading one, but not both. Sacrificial Stab would have more accuracy, a higher critical chance, and a larger bonus to damage versus Eldritch. Alright, I'm upgrading that. Let's see about Campbell. Let's see, we've got Mace Bash, Dazzling Light, Hand of Light. Let's see, Illumination means she can't be in the far back. I could upgrade Dazzling Light to make it have a higher stun chance, but that's all I can really upgrade, other than Mace Bash. Let's look at Fribois. I'm almost certainly going... I'm probably going to keep the Occultist Bounty Hunter duo. They combine very well with each other. Let's see. If I were to upgrade Collect Bounty, it would deal more extra damage to human enemies, be more accurate, and have a higher critical rate, but it wouldn't do any extra damage to marked enemies. If I were to upgrade Marked for Death, it would be more accurate, it would reduce the enemy's prot by a larger amount, and also, that's it. Let's see, I could learn Come Hither, which is a pull and mark. That is quite nice. Pull an enemy 2 spaces forward and mark them, and it causes damage. Flashbang, which stuns an enemy and shuffles them. Or Caltrops, which allows him to essentially punish enemies for being in the back row. I'm liking all of these better than I'm liking Finish Him, because it's since it's very difficult to create a situation where an enemy is stunned before the bounty hunter receives a turn. So I'm gonna have him learn Come Hither. And I'll leave Caltrops out for now. Let's see. I'm gonna upgrade one of his abilities. If I were to upgrade Come Hither, it would be more likely to pull, more accurate, and have a slight increase in critical chance. I'll go with Come Hither. I'm gonna upgrade Come Hither. Alright. And who would be a good last party member for the expedition that I'm planning? Actually, I think I've got this. Alright? Let's see if the Nomad Wagon has anything impressive. Bleed Charm is alright, as is the Disease Charm, but both of them would cost a lot. Let's visit the Survivalist. Alright, so what you have is, this is how we do it. Tracking, which is nice, and Pep Talk. You could learn Planned Takedown, which gives you an advantage against large enemies. Scout Ahead, which increases the scouting chance. That is nice. Wound Care, which we've already seen, and Encourage, which we've already seen. Let's see. The Occultist could learn. What he has is Dark Strength, which increases his own stress to strengthen a teammate. Unspeakable Commune, which means there can be no nighttime ambushes, but also adds stress, and Wound Care. Let's see. Dark Ritual. That's... I'm going to go with no on Dark Ritual. All it does is heals one companion, even if it heals them a lot, and removes mortality debuffs. Abandon hope! He just completely gives up on the prospect of surviving, which gives him reduced stress, but stresses everyone else. And then Encourage and Pep Talk. Let's see what the Vestal can learn. Let's see. Bless. Chant, which we've seen. Pray, which we've seen. Sanctuary. If Religious prevents nighttime ambush, I don't understand how I thought If Religious applied to how it affected one particular character. If it's that you have to have a religious hero in the party, I think the Vestal herself is a religious hero, so she should qualify that. And, but it prevents a nighttime ambush and heals people who have mortality debuffs and also de-stresses them. I recall somebody having the ability to just straight up remove mortality debuffs. So it's Medicate, Leeches, Experimental Vapors, The Cure, Wound Care, and Encourage. I think I'm going to have Campbell learn Sanctuary so that we have some means of preventing nighttime ambushes, and that is absolutely all the gold that we can afford to spend until after we've gotten more. Let's see, I don't want to try the Sodden Crew again, especially since, as good as the Dark Tambourine probably is, I don't have a Jester. We're not taking on any medium difficulty quests because we don't really have the people for it. So, let's see. We could get Critical Dice. Once again, good for a Jester, but we don't have one. Dark Bracer. I don't like the Dark Bracer. It gives you a bonus to critical hit rate if the torch is below 26, but it increases dodge if torch is below 51, but it reduces damage if the torch level is low. Or the Camouflage Cloak, which is increased dodge if the torch is above 25, but reduces stun resist. Alternatively, see, the Bounty Hunter only Agility Talent is pretty good. Alternatively, the Lucky Talisman for the Grave Robber, increased dodge and accuracy of ranged skills. That's good, except from what I've seen, the Grave Robber dodges things very consistently, and I've never actually seen one of the Grave Robber's ranged skills miss, as far as I can remember. And the Moon Cloak, once again, this is another of the kind of trinket I don't particularly like. So, increased prot if the torch level is low, increased dodge if the torch level is low, but increased stress no matter what. Not to mention the fact that you take increased stress if the torch level is low. So let's go with this one and get the Agility talent, and also some deeds and a little money. We're bringing Campbell, we're bringing Fribois, and let's see. Actually going to put the Grave Robber a little farther forward. She can work perfectly fine in center front. I believe all of her abilities can be used in center front. And we're bringing the Occultist. Alright. First thing I'm grabbing is torches. I'm not repeating my mistakes from last time. Alright. Gonna grab some food, but not a whole lot of food. A couple of medicinal herbs. One extra shovel. And numerous bandages. I'll grab a couple of holy water, they could be useful. Alright. And we're lightly provisioned, but I'll grab 2 more food so that we can deal with hunger twice. This should be a short mission, but I've had hunger strike multiple times in short missions. Tentacled lurkers lie in wait just below the water's surface. Though if that's the explanation for the traps that we keep getting hit by, apparently it's possible to disarm them.
The smell of rotting fish is almost unbearable.
Okay, 90% of rooms. Yeah, this one's going to involve some backtracking. I think I have a route I want to take. And we got loot already. Ooh, that's a first. I'm not complaining. Okay. I'm skipping this room. It has a battle and nothing else in it. Okay, he dodged the trap. That's good. That would be one of those tentacled lurkers, I suppose. Okay, and up to here. And I'm going to bask in the wonderful bounties brought about by basic competence and light a torch. Alright, we got a thrall. Thralls are undead. Oh, they're not undead. They're... I don't know, undead may not be a category. They're eldritch and unholy. Well, sacrificial stab. Alright, and pick to the face.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Since no one's damaged, dazzling light. No damage, but some extra torchlight and a chance to stun. And, just after complaining about finish him, I have an opportunity to use it. To accomplish almost nothing. And brine mist. Okay, poison darts, because they're the most reliable way to deal with these enemies. This is why we always bring someone with blight when you're dealing with enemies that have high prot. Let's see if we can stun the other one. We can. You know, vulnerability hex. That plus collect bounty should do the job. It did, barely though.
Impunity.
Alright, and we found another torch.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
So the time that I actually remember to bring the torches, I'm going to drop finish him for... Actually, I'm going to drop uppercut and keep finish him. I have other ways of inflicting stun. So the time that I forget to bring any torches, we find none over the course of the entire expedition. I'm also dropping Demon's Pull for Weakening Curse. And then this time, when I actually remembered to provision them with torches, we find a ton of them. Okay, nothing here except for a dead whale. I don't want to stand too close to that. Okay, we got a chest, which is empty. Alright, and we've already got our first hunger. Still no enemies. And now we go back to the entrance. That'll allow us to pick up this curio. Or at least investigate it, I suppose. Oh, it's one of these. Well, we're prepared for this now.
Finding
Ooh,
the
money.
stuff is only
And
the
another
first.
torch.
Now it must be carried home.
I feel like the game is mocking me a little bit. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I deserve it. I managed to forget torches. But... but here, have more torches! Have torches beyond measure. Okay, the sea maggot is dealt with. Okay, vulnerability hex. And collect... Oops. Well, come hither. And dazzling light on the one that isn't marked, see if we can keep him out of the fight. Wow! damage.
Unbalanced.
Of course, the first time they managed to attack at all wouldn't get rid of it. Okay, poison darts on the one that isn't marked. Sacrificial stab on the one that isn't marked. Okay, he's not a problem.
Slowly.
Yep.
Gently.
I've got a bounty for you to collect for Bois, and that is how we do that.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
More heirlooms. That's always good. I'm actually going to quick feed the bounty hunter a couple of times. Alright. Room battle with treasure. That's my favorite kind of room, because we get the rewards from the battle and the treasure in the room.
Wealth beyond measure. Awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
Okay, here we go. Alright, fairly standard with the sea maggot in the front is going to be a problem. I'm going to start with vulnerability hex on the Guardian. I'm also, the next time one of my heroes has a turn, I'm lighting up some torches. I let the torch level get too low. See, I'm that special kind of leader where just because we have torches doesn't guarantee that I'll remember to use them. Let's hit the grouper with Dazzling. No. Let's use Divine Grace on the Bounty Hunter so there's no risk of him being killed. Ow! I felt that one. And collect bounty on the Guardian. And he may have survived it, but he's still marked. Let's hit the shaman with poison darts to guarantee that he dies. Spear fishing. That's not good, but it's not as bad as it could have been. Okay, Divine Grace on the occultist. Let's use Weakening Curse on the sea maggot. That should take care of its prot. And collect bounty on the Pelagie Guardian again. That did a lot less. Either way, we're making progress, but we have to do with the brine again. Alright.
Confusion. Nerves.
Pick to the face. Actually, I'm going to use poison darts so the blight will finish it off if the regular damage does it. Apparently, even after reducing its prot is still too high. Go with Weakening Curse on the Guardian now. Whatever we hit him with next, he will die. And now is a good time for Divine Comfort.
Blood pumps. The limbs obey.
Let's see. Yeah, I'll just use Collect Bounty on the Guardian. Now he's gone.
Maintain the offensive.
And we've had to deal with Brine one last time. But after that, he's not a problem anymore. That just leaves the group. Poison darts. Alright. I've got you now. Okay, Divine Comfort. There we go. Sacrificial Stab. This might finish him. Yep.
Give them no quarter.
This is why I love bringing the occultist to the cove. Because everything is Eldritch down here. Alright, chest with our family sigil, which means... Oh, I was expecting heirlooms. Well, gold's good too. And we immediately have a hallway battle. Let's see what we get. Ooh, fish! I never would have guessed. Alright, poison darts. Come hither isn't really very significant in this situation. Vulnerability hex on the one all the way to the front.
A decisive pummeling.
Okay, spearfishing missed. That's good. And collect bounty.
Destroy.
There we go. Divine Comfort again. 3 of the 4 need healing. I also forgot to give her the Chirurgeon's Charm. Alright. And that... Okay, the one farthest in the back is now out. There's only the 2 middle ones we have to worry about anymore, and it won't be either of them for long. Come hither on the one in the front. On the one in the middle back, I mean. And vulnerability hex on the one in the front. Right. And he's out.
Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
I'll just keep up with the Divine Comfort. Alright. Thrown Dagger deals extra damage to marked enemies. Let's use that on the one in the back. Almost finished him. Frankly, Sacrificial Stab will do the job. So let's do that. I was briefly considering using Weird Reconstruction on the Vestal. But, collect bounty.
Decimated.
Yeah, it's a really unlikely combination, but the Occultist and the Bounty Hunter make a really effective team.
So too will resistance.
Also, we have 5 shovels. We have so many shovels, they can no longer be contained in a single inventory slot. Well, I'm dropping one. Okay, and this is going to be our last room. I believe no matter how few rooms there are in a dungeon, you'll never get a dungeon where you have to explore every single room. 90% will, there's always going to, if it says you have to explore 90%, it means there will always be one that you don't have to explore. Let's see if I can just kill the deep stinger. I cannot. Let's see if flashing daggers can finish it off.
As the
fiend
falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Alright, have the Vestal just keep healing everybody. Simple, but vital. And, Pelagi Shaman, get over here! Alright. Stress wave, and it missed. Spearfishing didn't, though. And apparently I didn't pull him far enough. Oh, he moves back when he uses Stress Wave. Well, let's finish off the grouper. Let's attempt to finish off the grouper. And the marking of the target wore off. Well, I'm tired of being hit by Stress Wave. I'm just going to try and take him out with Poison Darts. Divine Grace on the Occultist. And come hither. Even if he manages to move far enough back, I'll be able to take him out with Thrown Dagger. Okay. Actually, at this point, it doesn't even matter. On his next turn, he dies anyway. Oh, Poison Darts on the Sea Maggot. Sacrificial Stab on the Sea Maggot. Alright. Sea Maggot dies next turn. And let's use Come Hither again. I'm really liking this ability. I love being able to forcibly shuffle the enemy
crumbles.
Alright. And pick to the face. Almost got him. And the grouper is all that's left on their team. Well, Sacrificial Stab should show them what's what. Okay.
This expedition at least promises success.
Just gonna light up one torch, and now that it's maxed out, I'm gonna toss the other one. Oh, we're out of torches again. Maybe I should have tossed the shovels. But that's the end of the mission. And we return to the hamlet. I believe shovels sell for more than torches do at the end of the
We will
expedition.
find all manner of great and terrible things in this watery tomb.
Yeah, but selling first it sells all of our extraneous equipment, and then it sells our loot. Plus the gold we directly found, and the 3,000 gold reward. And quite a few heirlooms. And yeah, it was a short mission, so they only gained 2 resolve experience, but any experience is any experience is experience. And the occultist gained Eldritch Slayer. Extra accuracy and critical chance against Eldritch enemies, as if he wasn't overpowered enough when he was fighting the Eldritch. In fact, before I forget, I'm going to do something I've never done before, and I'm going to use the sanitarium to lock that quirk in.
Mired in malignancy. Fear has taken root.
Unfortunately, the dark is rising. Despondency and ambivalence seem to be on the wind. Many adventurers confess to having a troubled disposition even here, in the relative safety of the hamlet. Well, reduced virtue chance next quest. Well, I'm gonna just have to be careful. I mean, for the last 2 quests that we've done, no one has had their resolve tested, so the reduced virtue chance wasn't a problem. Alright. $6,750 gold? You see something. Okay, so if I had 8 busts, I could upgrade this to reduce the cost. I'm gonna trade over until I have 8 busts. 2 portraits for 3 busts, that brings me up to 9.
Curious methodologies and apparatus can calm even the most tormented soul.
Let me see, that would still cost 6,000 gold. But you know what? It fits so well with the way that he fights that I'm actually going to do that, even though it's the majority of the gold that I could spend on equipment. I'm doing it. Shackles? Really? But, yep, and that's my first time doing that. Let's see, there's not a whole lot of other upgrading that I could do. I could almost get another furnace upgrade, but really I think I should probably hold off until after my next quest before doing any further upgrading. But frankly, no one gained enough stress for me to need to have them actively de-stressed. So, anyway, that is going to be the end for this part. We've gone on for quite a while. We've actually made some pretty good progress. And I encountered a boss, and I guess unlike last time, I decided to do the smart thing and run while the running was good. Well, thank you all for watching. I love you all, and I will see you next time.